Well, I grew up just with my mum, and I went to this school in the suburbs, which was like a mixture of like really English people, and then there was like a really bad area next to it, so there was like a mixture of people in the school, and then I was like the only Colombian person in the whole school. So yeah, so then it was always like a battle of trying to fit in as well, I guess. But what happened was that when I was like 14, me and my group of friends who I started to really go out with, we started smoking weed a lot. We would not go to school really. Yeah, this just went on for years. When I finished school, I just carried on living that life. I kind of wanted to be like, wanted to be that person. I feel like I wanted to be like appreciated kind of thing. Maybe because I didn't have a dad, I think. I don't think that's an excuse. I think maybe because I didn't have a dad, I wanted that. I don't know. I think I wanted to feel love, or I don't know. Maybe look for that in people. So I think that's really how it really all started. Wanted to look for that approval in people that maybe I didn't get from my father. So yeah, so in my search in wanting to do that, loads of things happened. Like I got into this relationship, which really damaged my life and damaged the girl's life as well. And I started getting into bigger drugs anyway. Whilst I was still in that relationship. So yeah, I started selling drugs. I started going clubbing by myself and just selling drugs over the weekend. And at first it was alright because I wasn't really taking drugs. But after I would say like a year, I started really taking a lot of drugs to like be able to stay awake for the whole weekend. And then it would break into the week, and eventually I couldn't do anything else but just go out and just be taking drugs. I stopped going to college. I got kicked out of college. My first year of college I got kicked out. In the second year of college I went into prison. So then I had to leave college again, and all of this time I was still taking drugs. When I got out of prison, I thought that I was going to change, and I actually got worse. I tried to go back to college again, but I couldn't do it. I just wanted to live like that. I think I was too used to having that life where everything was easy and I couldn't be bothered to really do anything more. And one day I was like really in some mess, and I really believe that God spoke to me that day. There was this guy, and he actually I believe was used by God to speak to me that day. He told me things that no one else could know about, that only God could know. And he said, don't get involved in this, don't get involved with this, stop doing what you're doing, go back to your mom and everything. And I really felt that God was talking to me that day. And anyway, so that from that day on I wanted to stop everything, because I really felt that God was talking to me. And I asked God, if you give me a job on those terms, if you give me a job, then I'll stop doing everything. And it came out, and God gave me a job the next day. So I stopped taking drugs for a while, and that went on for like a year. Now everything was good, everything was clean, until eventually I relapsed, and I couldn't carry on working because I was just going out all the time again, 6 or 7 days a week. And then it came to the point where I realised that I couldn't actually live my life without being like that. And then my mum is just an amazing woman, and she saw that. She said, Fernando, do you want help? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she said, we can send you to Colombia, and you can go to rehab in Colombia. So I was like, all right. But I was like kind of scared, because I didn't really want to change, but I knew I had to. But I didn't really want to, but I knew I had to. So anyway, so I got sent at the end. I went to Colombia, and there I was in rehab for like 4 months. And when I was there, I had my little Bible, and I would read the Bible every day. Like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John every day, and then just every day just carry on going, reading over them. And at night when we had to go to sleep, I would say to them, I need to go to the toilet, and then they'll let me go, because we weren't allowed with the lights on. So I would go in the toilet, and I would just carry on reading my Bible at night so that they wouldn't tell me off. So anyway, so that all finished. I came back to England, thinking that everything was going to be okay. I realized this like the first day I came back from rehab, but I still had everything that I had from rehab, because I was really someone I wanted to go to church. So I said to my mum, let's go to church, and every Sunday I'd go to church, and like on the Friday I'd go out, and then I'd work on the Saturday, and then I'd go to church on the Sunday, and this would happen for quite some time until this prophet came, and she prophesied over me, and then that day everything changed. Everything got a lot more clearer. I realized I started learning a lot more about the Bible, about Jesus, what Jesus had done, and I really got the revelation of Jesus' love towards me. Well, the fire encounter, towards that time, things were actually a bit shaky before the fire encounter, if I must be honest. But I wanted to always be stronger with God, and I know that in the world there was nothing there for me. So we went to the fire encounter, and we just learned how to evangelize, how to heal the sick. I went to 2 because I wanted more. I felt like I got the calling from God that I should be evangelizing, and when I got back, I'd try to evangelize to one person every day, and then sometimes I'd be like, no, I'm a bit scared, but then every week I would get a word in church or at youth or in my devotional. I'll be like, preach the gospel. So then I'll be like, alright, let's do this. So I'll try to at least evangelize to one person so that they can accept Jesus every day. And then only recently, like 3 weeks ago, I went out and I saw amazing healings. So I was just there and I was just handing out some leaflets, just normal, saying God loves you, God loves you. And then this guy walked by, this young boy, and he was kind of like, I thought he was bopping, but obviously he wasn't bopping. He had like a bad leg, and he was like moving like this, and I said to him, is everything alright with your leg? And he was like, no, I've got this pain in my leg and I can't really walk properly. I wanted to say, are you bopping? But I didn't say that to him. so then he had like a bad leg. So I said to him, is it alright if I can pray for you? And then he was like, yeah. So then I just said to him, okay. And I prayed for his leg, and then I said, do you feel anything? And he was like, yeah, I feel it all over. And I was like, does it hurt now? He said, no, it doesn't hurt. He started to move it, and then he was just like, thank you. And then I said to him, God healed you. And then there was this other Latino guy who was just standing there, and I was trying to evangelize to him, but he was like, oh no, I have my own way of believing in God, just trying to push me away kind of thing. And then we got a word of knowledge about his back. So I said to him, is your back hurting or anything? And he was like, yeah, it does hurt. And I was like, is it alright if I can pray for you? And then he was like, oh, do what you must, kind of thing. I think those were his words in Spanish, like, do what you must. So I prayed for his back, and then I asked him, do you feel anything? And then he was like, yeah, I feel better actually, but not wanting to smile, but you could see he wanted to smile. And then there was this other guy who I was at, he had taken off his shoe and his sock, and he was just sitting there, and I sat next to him, and then there was like a train that came, so I thought he was going to get on it, but he didn't get on it. So then I went back to him and I was like, is everything alright with your foot? And he was like, no, it hurts. I've got really bad pain in my foot. It hasn't let me walk properly this whole day. I think he was like athlete's foot or something, but it really hurt him. And then I said, is it alright if I can pray for your foot? And then he was like, yeah. So I prayed for his foot, and then he was like, it feels a lot better. I asked him, do you feel anything? He was like, yeah, I feel it all on my leg, on my foot. And I was like, alright, so try it out. He put on his sock, he put on his shoe, and he was like, yeah, it's fine now. And then he just walked off.